Hello, 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 my internet fans. Welcome to this second episode of 2021 uh, with week two of the NBA, week one of the NHL, and wild card weekend of the NFL. Of course, we do start off our sports bar in memoriam with the sad news that happened last week that Dodger manager and Dodger vice president Tommy Lasorda passed away at age 93. A lot of tributes and uh, nice things have been said so far in the past week, and we're just going to do one more with a couple stories from me that I have, and of course the stats. As of course we all know that Tommy did play for the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1954 to 1955, and then played for the Kansas City Athletics in 1956. And then after his playing career ended, he made his way to coaching the Dodgers in 1973, being the third base coach. And then 3 years later, he took the helm in 1976, going a nice 20-year career, winning the World Series twice in 81 and 88. Of course, the Dodgers are 7-time champs now. He is a 2-time manager of the year from 83 and 88. And of course, the iconic jersey with number 2 was retired. As many people said in the media, Tommy lived, breathed, and sadly died Dodger blue. And a recent interview was posted, and he said this. These are his words. He said that when it's his time to go, on his tombstone, he wants a copy of the Dodgers' home schedule, so that when anyone goes to visit him, they know it's Dodger. It's time for Dodger baseball. Now, me personally, my very first Dodger game, in fact, my very first baseball game ever, was July 5th, 1991. The Dodgers played the Braves that day, and I was sitting. I think I was sitting over the dugout. Don't remember if it was the first base side or the third base side. Got my first Dodger dog ever, and of course there was a bad call, and out comes Tommy with that fiery Italian temper of his. Yells at the umpire, and the umpire says, "You're out of here." And the crowd goes wild. So, and of course, the Dodgers lost to the Braves that day, 5-2, I believe it was. And so I get home, and in 1991, I was 13 years old or 14 years old. And
the old fogey.
Yeah. I'm old. I can't. You see these gray in here? I'm old. So, of course, Mom says at the dinner table, what happened at the ball game? Oh, the Dodgers lost. How was it? And of course, the one thing that stood out was, oh, Tommy Lasorda got ejected. She's like, what does that mean? And I had to explain to her, well, he said something bad. He didn't like what the umpire was saying, and he got thrown out. Fast forward to, I want to say 2008 or 2009. Tommy had already retired by then. He was the VP of the Dodgers, and I was a cast member at Disneyland. And one day out of the blue, we find out that the Dodger legends are going to be there. Now, this is when Downtown Disney had the ESPN zone, which of course is now adorned with the Wakanda Forever tribute to Chadwick Boseman.
For now.
So I get there, And they say, show up at this time, meet Dodger legends. So I go out and I buy a couple of baseballs. Brand new, pristine, never been used baseballs. And I'm like, okay, here's my chance to get an autographed Tommy Lasorda baseball. Also at this time, I was really big on the whole eBay thing. I was Renegade and I would, we put up toys and things and clothes and things. And I thought, well, let's see if I can make a little extra money with a Tommy Lasorda baseball. So I get down, and I'm traveling from Lakewood to Anaheim. I get there right at 12 o'clock. There's a long line going into the parking lot, maybe about 100 people deep. Go up to the cast member. Is this the line? They're like, yeah, the wristbands have already been sent out. I'm like, what? Wristbands? What wristbands? Oh, we had to give out wristbands. No, it was never declared that you needed a wristband. Well, we've given out all the wristbands, but if the line moves quickly enough, you might get a chance. Okay. I'm figuring it's my day off. I've got nothing to do. I'll figure it out. The Dodgers Legends crew, they start doing their autographs, but Tommy doesn't show up. Tommy showed up an hour later. And I also found this out that he had his own, whenever he wanted to visit Disneyland, they literally drove him in behind the Opera House, and he could get out and he could go enjoy the park whenever he wanted. He had that much pull, apparently. So me being the supposed businessman that I wanted to be, I politely went up to him and I said, Mr. Lasorda, will you please sign my baseball? And he kind of looked at me. And then he ignored me and went on his way. I'm like, okay, no worries. He's a busy guy. So I went back to my space in line. So now I'm at the end of the line where the wristbands stop and the general population starts. I'm about 3 people back. So the 100th person goes up, and I think it was only supposed to go from 12 to 2. So this is also about 2:05, 2:10, 2:15 in the afternoon. Cast moves up and says, the event is over. The Dodgers are leaving. We're sorry, we can't get you. I'm now 3rd in line. So, of course, you've got a line of about 50 people like me who wanted an autograph or wanted a picture or wanted something. So he clears out the line and we converge. Now we're all right in front of the ESPN zone, literally right in front of the door. So we kind of make a smaller line. Compare this to like autograph signings for wrestlers. Kind of compare it like that. So Tommy comes down one end, starts shaking hands, saying hello, and he's autographing. I ask again, Mr. Lasorda, will you please sign my baseball? I got a handshake. I'm like, okay, no big thing. He goes into the ESPN zone. Now the crowd is dispersing. Yeah, now I went and chased down and got Steve Garvey to sign a baseball. I got something.
Right.
So now I'm figuring it's about 2:30, 2:45. I haven't eaten. I'm thirsty. I'll try and go into ESPN zone for lunch.
Right.
And I figured since I had a discount, being a cast member, I could get a nice lunch. There's Tommy at the bar. No one's around him. I'm like, 3rd time's the charm. Mr. Lasorda, will you please sign my baseball? Or take a picture with me?
Right.
He looked at me with that Italian look. He said, I'll take a picture with you, but I am not signing your damn baseball.
Nice.
So we took the picture, and I think I sent it to you. Yeah, and I think I sent it to you. So
we're having
and under my
dude. It ain't gonna happen.
That's okay. Under my breath, I said to him, "That's okay. Steve Garvey already did. I got the last word."
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. And then I went to a table and I had a nice burger and a beer.
Right. Here's
and
the
I
thing
went
with
home.
Tommy. Here's the thing with Tommy.
Go ahead.
I put his one of the many diatribes that he's had of his career in the description for today's show. I don't know if you saw it or not.
Yes.
The one about the infamous one about Bevacqua. I had to explain it everything because I can't say that.
I saw that video. I'm like, he did not do that in a baseball game.
Yeah, on the air,
He did.
He did not. Yeah, he did not. He never minced words. He could never be a manager in 2020. There's too much PC nonsense at this point, at this day and age. But he, it's one of those things. Tommy's old school. He always was old school, and he definitely made an impact on me as a kid, as a Los Angeles kid. And, you have to remember, when I was growing up, I was raised on the Big Red Machine, even though that train had long since derailed by the time I came around. But the Dodgers were the home team, and, you either loved Tommy or you didn't, and there was no in between, man. It's just as simple as that.
There was no in between.
It was a tough week for the Dodgers. We lost Tommy, and we lost Vince Scully's wife passed away. So
yes, that's another one. Yes, I did send Vin a nice tweet on Twitter, telling him.
You got a feel for Vinny, man. He lost his wife and one of his dearest friends within a week. That's screwed up.
Yeah, I sent him a nice condolences tweet saying what we say in the Greek Orthodox community when we lose somebody. In Greek, it's Aeonia imnimi, which means may their memory be eternal. We do a nice little every Sunday when you go to I know it's not called Mass, but when you go to a Greek Orthodox service after the divine, we call it the divine liturgy, but it's also it can be called Mass or it can be called service. After the service ends, there's a small little memorial service that can be performed for those that have passed away, and that little prayer or that chant is said 3 times in honor of the Holy Orthodox Trinity that we worship. So and then they say that. So I typed it out in Greek, and I typed out the phonetics for it, and I told him what it meant. So again, condolences to Mr. Vince Scully's late wife, who he was married for a good many years, wasn't he?
Well, Vinny's been around for a good many years,
and hopefully a lot longer, because we don't want to. Yeah,
yeah.
We don't want to lose Vin.
I know what the ticker says, but I just gotta throw this comment up there because I have something to say about this guy later. But we'll go ahead and throw it up there now. Anthony says, I met Goldberg at an autograph signing in the 90s when he was in WCW, and I had a 316 shirt on, and he said, you got some balls for wearing that shirt. I said, you got some balls for saying that. Then I flipped him off. Yes!
Well said, Anthony Y. Jeff, did you turn your mic off?
No, you there? Hi, there we go. Hi.
Okay, there you go.
Sorry.
You were a little bit choppy there, a little bit. All right. As we see your thumbprint coming up onto the.
So yeah,
as we see,
we're gonna talk about Goldberg later today because I did a little stat research, and I have a stat to go to the stat boy.
So did I. I think we're on the same page there. I know what you're talking about. In fact, if you want to go into that right now, I mean, by all means, if you want to take the floor, I assume we're talking about.
Let me just see. The thing is, I had the stat on my phone, so I'm using my phone now because my computer's special needs today. So we're gonna go ahead and get that up. Did I send that stat to you in my work chat or my personal chat? Do you remember?
I don't think you ever did, but you're talking about the streak, right?
Yes.
And the documentary that was on the WWE Network?
Well, you brought that up as part of it, yes.
Okay, so you have something different. Okay, go ahead. This is all you.
Let's see here. Hang on. Let's see here.
Because I saw that documentary 2 weeks ago, and I think I actually started to write out all the matches.
Well, here's the thing with that. If you just count the TV matches, it's way off. First of all,
yes,
way off. So
absolutely.
Here's my thing with old Billy Boy, and I'm gonna make it real short and sweet.
Do you want to take the full screen on this one? Do you want to and put me to the side? This is your moment.
I'm trying to find out where. I know I sent somebody that chat. Oh, you know what? I think it was everybody else. Hang on a second. Let me just... Again, guys, we're going by the seat of our ass here, so it's just because we're having tech issues.
Yeah, we take our script and then crumple it up and throw it away literally 5 minutes before airtime.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so this morning before I got Dylan to go to an appointment that ended up not happening because my luck sucks, I was doing a little research on the WWE Network exclusives, and I keep seeing Goldberg's stupid face pop up because he's back in the game now and is going to be challenging McIntyre if he passes the COVID test, that is. So that was ridiculous yesterday. But
he will.
Counting 4 dark matches that he had prior to the big win over Hugh Morris on September 22nd and 27, once Nash pinned him in Washington, D.C., his record was not 173-1, despite what the professor that named me the professor, Mike Tenay, kept saying every week. Oh, no. The record at Starrcade 98, when it was over, stood at 151, 1, and 4.
Very impressive work.
So I'm not going to call Tenay out because he was always good to us at No DQ and doing the thing for us. But to the guy above him, feeding the stats to him, or feeding the lines to him, Bischoff, you're full of shit once again, bud. There you go. So not only did you find your precious Steve Austin clone once you shaved Bill's head, but you had something organic the people were getting behind and counting along at home, and you just had to freaking WCW it. Congratulations. You guys still suck 20 years later. Very good. I'm good now.
You're good. All right, let's get into what's on tap on this episode of Stat Boys Sports Bar. As you can see, I've got my brand new Anaheim Ducks shirt. I'm wearing my classic Anaheim, well, not my classic Anaheim Ducks hat because it's not the hockey mask with the hockey sticks. Do not diss this shirt. It's from Dory.
I'm not dissing the shirt.
You are very welcome, sir.
I am not dissing the shirt at all.
You're dissing the person that brought the team.
I am not dissing the person that brought the tea whatsoever. I adore that person. Her and I had a wonderful pre-show conversation, as a matter of fact.
Yes, we did.
But the person that openly supports the team since 2007, roughly, yeah. Anyway.
Whatever. So hockey starts up tomorrow. We have 5 games on tap. And a lot of them are being broadcast on NBC. However, there is one person on NBC that will not be joining the crew, and that is analyst Mike Milbury.
Well,
Reasoning why?
Before we, if we're into hockey first, I thought we were into basketball. If we're into hockey first, let me go ahead and bring in our special guest.
Oh, okay.
What up, dude?
Hello, Dylan. Nephew Dylan is in the sports bar, and don't worry, we don't have a 21 and under law, so he's safe. So anyway, what I was saying about Mike Milbury not being on the NBC analyst team, during a first-round game back in August between the Islanders and the Capitals, fellow analyst Brian Boucher was saying that the NHL bubble was the perfect place to play. Mr. Mike Milbury popped in and said, yeah, if you enjoy playing and enjoy being with your teammates for long periods of time, but there aren't any women here to disrupt your concentration. Naughty, Mr. Mike Milbury. Very naughty indeed. You do not say things like that. That's the kind of stupid joke you make up with your friends when you're sitting at the bar and no one has their cell phone out. You don't say it on national television where millions of people can get upset and potentially complain about it, to where therefore you have to check your moral values at the door and then you're out of a job. Way to go, Mike. Good job on that one.
Yeah, Mikey, this is the same guy. This is the same piece of, actually threw a shoe at a fan. So he's just a piece
He threw a shoe at a fan?
Yeah, he did. When he was a player, he actually threw a shoe at a fan. He's a complete human waste of space. He's absolute hot garbage. He can kiss, and I'm glad he's gone.
I would love to hear the story on that one.
Well, my dad can tell you that story better when we're off air. But yeah, he's been a notorious prick his entire playing and analyst career, and we were counting down to the moment where he truly screwed up, and he did it. So good. I'm glad he's gone.
Wow, threw a shoe at a fan.
And honestly, and the thing is, NBC kept him employed for so long. I am so glad Fox Sports West has the majority of our Kings games this year. I'm going to deal with NBC's crap this year. I'm so tickled about that.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously because you have the market locked on the Kings, and I've got the semi-market on the Ducks. We love Fox Sports West. I mean, and of course I don't have Prime Ticket. Of course, the commentators for both teams are excellent. I still miss Bob Miller, but he's perfectly happy in retirement. I wish he could come back, but of course it's not safe either, I believe, for him, and in a crazy COVID world. So that's an actual fact there. I mean, when NBC, of course, does the Stanley Cup playoffs, that's their thing, and it was much cooler to listen to the recorded commentary that Bob and Jim did when the Kings won both times. That was amazing. I mean, if you can
I'll be honest with you, I have not heard the entire game of Game 5 of against New York with Bob and Jim and Nick and Daryl calling it. So I need to hear those. Dylan, since you're sitting there patiently, and I appreciate that, kiddo. You're we know you're a Kings boy through and through, of course, because you live here. But you also got a pretty cool present from somebody in the family over the holidays. And are you rooting for Vegas wearing your Fleury shirt, or are you just a fan of Fleury?
Yes, do tell.
No, so I've been saying since NHL 18 came out, where the Vegas Golden Knights were a team.
Right.
Oh, they should have a third jersey that's all gold. And Dad can check me on that, and my grandpa can check me on that. Every time I see Vegas, I would say they need a full gold alternate jersey. They finally got it, and the only person they had on there was Fleury. So I was pushing that for September to Christmas Eve.
Right.
And I got a Fleury shirt, which I'm not complaining about because I still like Fleury. He's probably one of the best goalies in the league.
Absolutely, indeed. So, Dylan, what do you expect the Golden Knights to do this season?
Playoffs, at least, like they have been doing for the past 3 years now. Wow, it's been 3 years since they've been in the league.
3 years, yep. And they need to top themselves by actually winning the cup, because if you remember, that inaugural season was the greatest season ever for an inaugural team to just come in and go all the way. But and had they done it, I would have been okay with it, honestly. I mean, I would have. We didn't get anywhere near the cup that year, but to have a team like that, to take the best from each team, and that was unprecedented, to take the best or whatever player they could get from every NHL team and create a brand new league, a brand new team, and go all the way. They have to win the cup very soon.
Well, you remember something, Mikey. The draft that Vegas was brought in, it wasn't like the expansion drafts of old or the entry drafts of old. Vegas got to cherry pick quite a few quality players, Fleury included. Steve Nash, I believe.
Jeff, did you freeze up?
Yeah. They got a lot of great players onto that roster.
Yeah.
Steve
and
Nash
I said the same thing whenever I'm talking to my friends. It's like NHL 21 season mode, just choosing the team, is going to be a lot harder to win the Stanley Cup than franchise mode. And the reason being, if you create your own custom 30-second team and you go to the expansion draft, every single team has at least an 81 overall. So you're sitting there, your front line normally is Matt Duchene, and then a variety of different left wingers and right wingers. But you always have a good center and a good first line. Plus, I mean, last draft I did on NHL 21, which is just a couple days ago, my defense was pretty much all American and Canadian all-star teams defensemen. All of them over 85. So it's a tremendously easier to get a cup on franchise mode and from free agents than it is to just pick a random team that already has like some okay players, but normally has like a third and fourth line of 76, 74, 60s. So when you go into real life with a super team of players that are tremendously good, but you have 6 or 7 other players on the same team that are just that much better, it's like, okay, well, I mean, the obvious choice, you either have a guy who's been with someone and scored not a record, but on average 35 goals every season, compared to the next person over who maybe got 15 goals a season, and there's like 8, 4, and did their fourth liner.
There you go.
So
there it is. I love how you're basing what you want to happen in the real season to a video game. That is amazing.
That works for me, man. That's how I rebase it. So yes,
Jeff, let me ask you.
Kraken are debuting in the 2021-22 season. We won't see them for another year, which will be
right.
And
what do you want the Kings to do?
The way the league is divided right now, every division has 8 teams except the North Division because Canada only has 7 cities in the NHL right now. So
right.
When Seattle joins the league, it'll be a 32-team league. If we're back under normal circumstances, God help us, it'll be very balanced out. 8-8-8, very simple. So that's going to throw out. As far as previewing the season, I know Mikey's got his rankings based on how things shook out at the end of last year, of course, with the Tampa Bay Lightning winning their Stanley Cup for the second time, I believe it was.
But what do you want to see the Kings do this season? I'm asking you, since we got Dylan's opinion on the Golden Knights. Now, what do you want done with the Kings?
Well, unfortunately, most of the odds makers are picking the Kings to finish last in the West. Which they're unfortunately we're still in a rebuilding, and we're still getting our stuff back together. We're still in that phase of our franchise right now. We had our moments in the sun, at the beginning of the last decade. And now we're slumping our way back into it. We're not. We had a great draft. We've got a couple of great new prospects, and I'm curious to see if they're going to bring anybody up. Those kids played in the juniors, so they had to quarantine for a couple of weeks, so that they couldn't go to camp last week. So we'll see if they fit in. They're not going to be here tomorrow, Thursday, which sucks. But I'm optimistic we're going to have a decent season, but I don't think we're going to, make any huge noise for at least a couple more seasons. And that's just me being, realistic more than optimistic. I always hope my team will do well. I don't like, I'm not going to games anyway, but I said it during last year when we were having such struggles. I was detesting going downtown, once or twice a week, just because we're gonna go back to the train and back to the car with our heads down, going, Jesus Christ, what are we doing to ourselves, spending money on bullshit? So it was tough, but the phrase I kept hearing all year, and from the next room especially, trust the process. And I've had to trust the process. And like I said, we had a wonderful draft this year. We did really, really well picking these kids up, and I'm our number one pick is, going to be understudying, for lack of a better term, as center under Kopitar, who is arguably the best two-way center in modern NHL history, like in the last, couple decades. Kopitar, even at his worst, is still one of the best players in the league.
And I'll say the same thing. I'll say the same thing about the Ducks. I want a better season than last one. Of course,
right.
I'm optimistic, and I would love to see us hoist the cup again. I'd be happy with a winning season. I'd be happy with the playoffs.
Right.
But reality again, we haven't played. We didn't get neither one of us made it to the restructured playoffs because we were the two of the 7 teams that didn't get a chance to play, even though we have more time in training camp than anything
Right.
else.
Right.
So I will be enjoying Ducks hockey this season and on the couch as always. And like I say, they need to play better. And I also have, and then we'll get into the rankings as quickly as possible. I did want to bring up a news story about, and I said this 2 weeks ago, on our good friend Corey Perry, who signed a contract with the Montreal Canadiens 1 year, $750,000, $750,000. Insane amount of money, I know. And the news dropped earlier today or yesterday that he got waived. Now, for those of you that don't know what that means, I tweeted my good buddy, Mr. Dan Wood, who is the color commentator, and he does Ducks cues during the second intermission of every Ducks home game. On the radio, yes. So more than likely,
so just throw it out there.
Yeah. They don't address tweets like the radio guys do. So you'll more than likely hear my Twitter handle pop up from them. I'll send in a Ducks Q question because, hey, I'm Stat Boy. I got to have questions just like you do. So what does it mean when a player gets waived? Right. Basically, the definition is this. If a player or the team, they want to part ways for whatever reason, they get put on waivers.
Right.
Notice goes out amongst all the teams. Hey, this guy, you can have him. He's yours. Go ahead. Boy, you're really loving this, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I love every bit of this. Every bit of it.
If nobody picks him up, the term becomes he has cleared waivers and now he's a free agent, meaning he can go pretty much wherever he wants, or he can entice offers. He has no contractual obligations whatsoever. Will somebody pick him up? Probably not. My thing with Corey Perry was this. I liked him because he was on the Ducks until I went to one Ducks game. I was at Honda Center, and one of the ushers said, Corey Perry is going to do his pre-match ritual, which is him coming out, and he taps and rotates his stick on the ice. And of course, the usher was very polite. Please don't bother Corey Perry while he does his pregame ritual. Once he's done with it, all bets are off. He comes out, taps his sticks, twists his stick, and leaves with nothing, not a high five or anything. I'm like, okay, we see where your loyalty lies. Corey Perry is great in front of the net. I mean, he got a couple scoring titles playing for the Ducks, of course, but he also had a lot of penalty minutes because, let's face it, he's a hothead. He loves to fight. He likes to get into fights. So that's why I said, so at that point, I was done with him. Yes?
He doesn't like to fight. He likes to start shit and have other people pick up his problems.
So that's fighting. Okay, good. That's fighting in my book. So at that point, when you said he got, when you said he got signed, by that point, I was done with him. That's why I said, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Right. But what's the point of signing this huge contract? I mean, $750,000 is a lot of money just for one season of play. It's not $1 million, but it's pretty darn close. When 2 weeks later, we don't want him anymore. What's the point? He should have stayed in Anaheim then. And if that was the case, I really don't know about all that. But I wash my hands of him.
I love how you're dancing around the truth. Do you mind if I cut in?
Absolutely.
It's not that he didn't want to stay in Anaheim. It's not that he didn't want to sign and stay with Montreal. Nobody wants his ass. As much as he is good at, as Coach O'Ryan taught the only true Ducks in my book, pick up the trash in front of the net, right? Corey Perry's good at that. He's also good at, like I said, stirring the crap. and to the point where he gets in so much trouble by being a butthead that his teammates can't stand having to try to protect his stupid ass. So goodbye, clear waivers, go into free agency, realize that 32 different teams don't want you, and go away. Go play in Europe. Go play in Russia. Get the hell out of my league. Goodbye. Thanks.
And on that note, we'll go right into our power rankings for week
All right.
one.
Let me I have to do this by the phone here, so you have to forgive me here as I do
Yeah,
this.
there's his thumbprint. Make sure you can copy that and get that on all your devices. Now, how did I rank the teams?
Now, so I assume we're not doing NBA rankings today, or are we just going to go ahead and do that after this?
That'll be done quick because we've been going for 40 minutes and we got to get into the football because I think the crowd is getting restless. They want to know what's going on in football, and we have football to talk about.
Okay, fine.
Go Browns.
There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry, early. Go ahead.
That's okay. So how did I rank the teams? I took last year's standings and last year's points, and wherever they ended up, that's where they were ranked, and that's where they're going to start for tomorrow's stuff. There are 31 teams. They'll be ranked by points and by record until we get to the playoffs, and then they do I believe they do some kind of tournament, or is that basketball? I think I'm getting my sports mixed up, but whatever. And every week, the scoring results will go on the Facebook group page. Right. And of course, any news that pops up during hockey, be it the Ducks or the Kings or anything else that happens, Jeff and I will talk about it. And then we'll go into the rankings and finish out the week. So team number 31 only finished with 39 points. They finished dead last, as low as they possibly could get. It is the Detroit Red Wings.
They are, by the way, listed online as the odds makers as the longest shot to win the Stanley Cup this year.
The longest shot to win. Wow.
Yes.
Put your money on the Red Wings, friends. You could win a fortune if they play and if they actually win the Stanley Cup. I'm going to actually look that up after we go off the air. I want to know how much they'll pay for that. That might be worth it.
Plus 20,000, whatever that means.
That means if you put down $1, you win $20,000.
Yeah. So yeah.
So if you put down 100, that's $2 million.
Yeah. They are 20,000 to 1 shot to win the Stanley Cup.
$2 million for a $100 bet. Woo!
I'm going to that. I'm breaking quarantine right now. Yes.
That's some money right there.
No shit.
Team number 30, they scored 62 points. Our first Canadian team, the Ottawa Senators.
Our dear friend Laura, the Laura Sens fan, they are a 10,000 to 1 shot. So, you know, I don't know what that is in euros or in British pounds, but take a chance, Laura. You never know.
Team number 29, they finished it with 63 points. And they are the scourge of California, the San Jose Sharks.
California's bitches. They are a 6,000 to 1 shot.
Team number 28, they scored 1 point more than the Sharks did.
That's right, damn it.
They are your Los Angeles Kings.
7,500 to 1 shot. We got this, baby.
$7,500.
Yeah.
$7,500 for every dollar. Wow.
Yep.
Yep. Did you get all the odds, really?
I have them on front of me right here.
Oh, you do? Okay, great. And finally, and above the Kings, they scored 67 points. The Anaheim Ducks, how much?
They are a 7,000 to 1.
Hold on.
So it goes Sharks, Ducks, Kings as far as the California teams.
Sharks, Kings, Ducks, yes.
No, Sharks, Ducks, Kings. 6,000, 7,000, 7,500.
How much?
60 to 1.
The Sharks
60 to 1?
6,000, Anaheim 7,000, the Kings are 7,500.
These are some big money.
Yes.
Team number 26, they scored 1 point more than the Ducks did. From Red Bank, home of the secret stash, the New Jersey Devils. How much are they at?
Also 6,000 to 1 shot.
60 to 1, okay. Team number 25, they tied with the Devils, but they had a better record. That's why they're ranked higher. The Buffalo Sabres.
At 5,500 to 1.
55 to 1. So the higher we go, The
No,
lower the
5,500.
payout. Right, 5,500. Right. So the higher in rank, the lower the payout.
Right.
Team number 24, the team to be on the cusp of the playoffs at 71 points. The Montreal Canadiens. How much?
Now it's funny. We have a big jump here for the odds makers because the Montreal's at only 2,600 to 1.
26 to 1.
I have 32 to 1.
You have 32?
Yeah.
Wow. You have two different odds makers going on.
That's okay.
I'll make you more money. 10%. That's all I
That
ask.
works too.
If you want to book a bet with Dory, follow her on Instagram. I'll put up her account later. All
Yes.
right, now we're in the teams that actually were in the playoffs, and these guys are ranked based on their performance. The team that did the worst, they were eliminated in the qualifying round, and they got swept. The New York Rangers.
Let's see. They are, for this year, 2,800 one shot.
2,800. Okay, that's not bad. Next team, they were eliminated 3 games to 1, and they scored 6 goals. The Winnipeg Jets.
Oops, sorry.
Oh,
40 to 1.
4,800 to 1 shot for the Jets this year.
there you go. And whatever you do, don't step on their logo in the locker room. Very
Well, that's
bad.
any team, though.
Oh, let me go stop. I'll dance all over it.
You're going to dance all over
I'll
it?
go dance all over it.
Team number 21, they also ended up 3-1, but they scored 7 goals in their playoff, the Panthers.
Okay, I don't know what's. Hang on a second here. I lost. Oh yeah, Panthers are 4,800 to 1, like the Jets.
Okay. Team number 20, they scored 8 goals in their qualifying round. Greg Cherry's own Pittsburgh Penguins.
Greg Cherry and Big G's only hope at a world championship this year.
22 to 1.
22 to 1?
Yep.
There you go.
Oh, they're actually they're at even 2,000 to 1.
Okay, you guys are close. Team number 19, they scored 10 goals. Dory's own Minnesota Wild.
Yes, I'm better than any LA California teams. There we go.
And much like Buffalo, you are
50
5,500 to
by the
1.
way.
5,500 to 1. 55 to 1.
50 to 1. Yeah.
Yeah. Get your bets in now, folks.
That's it.
Team number 18, they scored 12 goals in their qualifier. Nashville.
3,300 to
Predators.
1 there.
There you go.
26 to 1.
Yep. And the last team to only win 1 game in the qualifying round, they scored 15 goals. Wayne Gretzky's former team, the Oilers.
2,200 as well.
There you go. This team did the best in the qualifying round. They went to a 5-game. They lost. They are Toronto at number 16.
Here's the shock for me.
What's that?
They are the 4th ranked team in the odds, only 1,200 to 1.
Okay.
That they're actually a heavy favorite to win the cup. That, people have been sleeping on Toronto. And even our own dear Lisa, who is a Vancouver Canucks fan, even though she lives in Toronto. I'm telling you, man, my dad's been saying for years they're gonna win a cup here in the next 1 to 2 years. So don't be surprised.
Okay, the next teams were eliminated in the official first round of the playoffs. There was a qualifying round, and then we had the first round. The team that did the worst, they scored 8 goals. They lost in overtime. That was another factor. If you lose in overtime in the playoffs, that stings because you've played all that time to lose. That's why they are lower. And it is not the Arizona Coyotes.
That's what you told me.
No, it's the Washington Capitals. It goes Toronto, then Washington. 16, then 15.
Okay,
I think you skipped one.
I don't think I didn't put them in here. I'm sorry. My bad.
That's okay. So
Okay.
let's bring up.
Pretend you see a Washington Capitals logo here.
Oh, you don't have one?
None.
Ooh.
Oh, they're at where are they at here? 2,200 to 1.
All right. So the next team was the Coyotes. They did score 8 goals, but they did not lose in overtime in any of their games. They just lost in a regular game. So there's that.
And they're
The next
5,000 to 1 shot, which works for me.
Okay. The next team, they scored 11 goals in their game, and they lost in a double overtime match. Team number 13 are the Carolina Hurricanes.
And they are currently at 1,700 to 1.
Okay. Team number 12, they also scored 11 goals, but they lost in an overtime. And I actually do like the logo of the Chicago Blackhawks. It looks like artwork to me, honestly.
Yes.
And
they are a 6,000 to 1 shot. And don't be surprised if when we're in here at this time next season, they're going to have a different representation, which sucks. But it's a PC.
What, the
world,
Chicago
kids.
hockey team?
Right.
Are they going to do the same thing that Washington does?
Yep.
I hope the management in charge of Chicago is not that stupid as the management in charge of the Washington football team.
There you go. Team number 11, they scored 1 goal more than the Blackhawks did. They scored 12. We have the Columbus Blue Jackets.
And they are at a 3,500 to 1 shot.
There you go. We are now in the top 10.
There you go.
This team scored, actually won 2 games in the first round. They scored 16 goals. And this would be Renegades' home state, the St. Louis Blues.
The 2019 Stanley Cup champions.
There you go.
At 2001 shot for 2021.
And the team that did the best in the first round, team number 9, they scored 17 goals. That would be the Calgary Flames.
At 3,200 to 1 for 2021.
We're in the top 8. This team got to the semis in the East, but they only won once. Get the chowder. It's Boston. Who wants chowder?
That
Team.
That raspberry is from this era hat. Sorry.
Gotcha. Team number 7. They are apparently Anthony's team, as he says in the chat room. And the team that is also on Questlove's drum set,
yes.
The Philadelphia Flyers.
And the Flyers are just above the Penguins at a 1,700 shot, along with Carolina.
Team number 6, they got to the semis. They got all the way to a Game 7, but they only scored 14 goals. The Vancouver Canucks.
As I said, our dear Lisa's team, unfortunately, they are. Where are they? I didn't see them. Hang on a second. Where the hell is Vancouver? There they are. 4,000 to 1.
Okay. Team number 5, they scored the most goals in their semifinal matchup. They took it to a Game 7. The Colorado Avalanche.
These are your favorites. The Colorado Avalanche, only 650 to 1. They are the favorites to win the Stanley Cup this year. God help me.
Really?
Yes.
6.5 to 1 for Colorado.
Yeah. Although, if it happens this year, the soon-to-be Mrs. Ritz will be happy. That's her team, and the wedding might be on this year. So we'll see. We'll see how her year goes.
Team number 4, they got to the Western Finals. They only won 1 game. They got eliminated. It's the Vegas Golden Knights. The Henderson Hottie.
There they are. Yes, and they are at 850 to 1. They are the let me just see something real quick here before I start. Yeah, they are the second-ranked West team. Third overall for the Stanley Cup.
Team number 3, they won 2 games in the finals of the East. It's that other New York team. Because I always focus on the Rangers. I do not focus on the New York Islanders.
Hey, you know what? Don't sleep on the Isles either, man. They're only 2,800 to 1. They're right there with the Rangers. Do not sleep on the New York Islanders or either New York team this year, really.
Team number 2, they got to the Stanley Cup Finals. They are the reigning 2020 Western Conference champions. They are the Dallas Stars.
At 2,200 even.
And that leaves the only team left, your Stanley Cup champion, Pop's team, who lives down in Florida, the Tampa Bay Lightning.
And they are second ranked overall. They are tied with Vegas, 850 to 1. So looks like it's going to be a pretty hot race at the top there.
It sure is. Now remember, we're doing a sprint, as they said in baseball. The season is only 52 games. Yes, Story. What do you got there for me?
Your actual projected contenders for 2021.
Avalanche, Lightning, Knights, Leafs, and Bruins. It's
Sounds
pretty
about right.
close.
Sounds about right.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close. So games are going to go quick. 52 game sprint. Interdivisional play. 2 points for a win, 1 point for an overtime loss or shootout. Again, the results. Go for it, Dylan. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dylan, I'm sorry. We totally let you talk. I'm sorry about that, Bubba.
Okay. So when I was looking at the lottery with my grandpa and everyone, they weren't as upset as me when it was said, "Oh, the number 1 pick goes to whoever gets eliminated in the qualifiers. It'll be a lottery, and whoever wins that gets number 1 pick." That does not make sense at all. And the reason being is that every team in the lottery was worse than the team in the qualifiers.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There should be no reason that a team in the qualifiers who has a better record and more points than everyone that's in the lottery should get better pick. Now, I get that sometimes there's fleeks where, like, there's someone that's projected to be 13th and they're in the 13th spot right now for the worst team and they get to, like, 3rd. But that's the lottery. That's just like, oh, okay, that kind of sucks. But when a team that literally robs something from you, that's just like, it doesn't make sense. It's like saying that, it's like when the Dodgers had to face Milwaukee. There should have been no reason Milwaukee got into freaking playoffs. They got smashed by the Dodgers, so it didn't really matter. But it was like they robbed spot from someone that could have been better and easily made it into the playoffs.
Right. Dylan, here's the thing though, buddy. We did okay with the draft there because the Rangers got Alexis I forgot to say his name. I apologize.
Lafreniere.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, Lefebvre.
But you know what? We got Quentin Byfield. I'm totally okay with that. I'm fine with that. It's and Ottawa, God, Ottawa needs something, and they ended up getting the kid from Germany, so that's awesome for them.
Tim Stützle.
I don't think that's how you say it, but okay.
But I think
I went German on me.
That you actually sounded Swedish when you said it, but okay, sure.
I think that the Kings are gonna. Not the Kings. That Quentin Byfield's gonna need a couple or a few years to transition. I don't think he's gonna be a massive star right away, or he's gonna be at least really good in the league, almost right away after the few games. I think he's gonna need a year or 2 or 3 to get the feel of the league. Wait for Kopi to start regressing from age-related issues in the league for him being there for so long. And then he starts to go from like 3rd line, then he gets 2nd line because he's starting to get better and before he takes that first spot. But I don't think he's getting there anytime soon.
Well, yeah, I remember, kiddo, Kopi and Quick were 2005 drafts, and Brown was 2003, and Doughty, our defensive star, is 2008. So our core, at its word, at best, is as old as you. So, we need these guys to start stepping up on the Kings side of things. Quentin's, like I said earlier, Quentin's understudying under Kopi, who, as I said, is the best two-way center in recent history. If he's learning from Kopi in camp when he gets there, and when he gets up to the league to start, playing regular season play, you'd be surprised how quick he comes along. I watched the highlights during the draft. I've watched a few of his games. This kid can go. He can definitely go, and I think he'll make a bigger impact than you're giving him credit for, kid. But again, we'll see how it goes in a couple weeks.
And here's something I just found out between Quentin Byfield and our draft pick, Jamie Drysdale. We both got gold medals in the World Juniors, so that's something we can both be happy about. Both of our draft picks are gold medalists, and that's as high as you can get.
The only problem with it was great that they played the juniors and got the gold medal, but now they had a quarantine for 2 weeks, so they can't go to camp.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they were playing over in Europe.
I don't know if it's just me or if I'm expecting at some point in the league, either the first game or the last game of the regular season or the first game of the playoffs, for everyone in the league to wear their reverse retros.
Yes.
That would be cool.
It's funny. You can't get your hands on an authentic LA Kings reverse retro right now. I found one on eBay. China. Horse crap. Just terrible. So, yeah, you can't get those things sold out like they were freaking water at a damn Sahara Desert concert. It was crazy. So, I'm looking forward to getting one hopefully soon. We'll see how it goes. And Mike D, we know you're a resident New York Rangers fan. I'm happy hockey's back, period, brother. I'll tell you that right now.
We are all happy that hockey's back. So
Yes.
Games start tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 on Pacific.
Oh, you know what? I actually think I have that. The schedule.
You have the opening schedule? I hope you do.
I had it up here last week. Let me see if I still got it. Hang on.
I know it's I think it's Pittsburgh and Philadelphia to start it all off. I had it too, but I didn't want.
I go through the phone, so it takes a longer to go through the phone stuff. So stand by.
I just didn't. I didn't want to. I'm also tracking the chat room on my tablet, and I'm also getting Laker updates. We're going to talk basketball really quickly, and then we'll go into football. I'm going to apologize in advance. I didn't really get any basketball news because I just wasn't watching basketball. The results went up on the group chat, but as far as what's going on, there have been some. There we go. That's the season opener, so I think we can figure that all out. So let's see. Tomorrow's game.
Tomorrow is Edmonton,
the Flyers and the
Vancouver,
Penguins. Yep.
Montreal versus Toronto.
Yep.
Colorado versus St. Louis.
Yep.
Saw that. Detroit, no. Chicago versus
Chicago and Tampa Bay.
And
Philadelphia, Pittsburgh
versus. Oh wow! There you go, Philly and Pittsburgh. That's
the Battle of Pennsylvania starts the league. So there you go.
And then here you go, Dory. The Kings face Minnesota on Thursday.
Yeah, Dory, Kings, Minnesota on.
I'll be at work.
The day out. Oh, she's got to work.
That sucks.
And
okay.
Who do the Wings open up against?
The Wings open up against. Where are they? I think I blocked them out. Hang on a second. Let me get rid of the comments. Sorry, Mike.
I play 2 games against the Kings, and then I go against the Ducks.
Yeah.
Oh, they completely redid the alignment.
They had to, Dylan, because Canada can't travel into the U.S. due to COVID.
Oh.
They had to totally.
Yeah, Dylan, if you notice, the entire North is Canadian teams.
Oh, I don't get why they did that. But okay, I mean, I don't complain.
Because they can't travel because of COVID.
Yes!
Yeah, that's why.
Finally!
What?
Finally, they do that. Every single time I do a franchise mode, I always move Nashville into what used to be the Atlantic Division. I moved oh god, what is it? The Columbus into the Central Division because
Carolina.
This is why they're not. And then I always move
the Panthers
into the Metropolitan Division because it just doesn't make sense why there's a New York team who's in the Atlantic Division. When there's a team literally in front of it, and they're in the Metropolitan.
Florida Panthers, Hurricanes. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
All right.
I got the Florida Panthers mixed up with the Carolina Panthers.
You're fired.
All right. So
I was telling Aaron that the Wings open up against Carolina, but I said the Carolina Panthers instead of the Carolina Hurricanes because we still have to talk about football.
So, by the way, yes, Mike D, I did see your prayers for Lundqvist. Yeah, God, that was crazy.
You're cut off from your own goddamn bar.
What happened?
I haven't had nothing. Oh yeah, what happened to Lundqvist? What did I miss?
All right, I'm out.
Do we know what happened to?
Oh
Oh God, no! I hope it's not that.
No, I think you did. I think you did. Hang on a second. Let me just look here real quick.
News.
Everybody gets on their devices all at the same time.
Right.
Oh
no, he's gonna miss the season due to having open heart surgery. He has a heart condition.
Okay.
So you have a heart attack.
Thank goodness it wasn't a heart attack. Thank goodness.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right. Time for the football.
Washington. He got signed to Washington.
No.
Brandon got signed to Vancouver. And Alex Petrangelo got signed to Vegas.
Oh, good for them.
Okay.
All right, Dylan. I am sorry we didn't get to have more of your interactions with this. We'll definitely have you more involved next week when we go over the first week of results.
Okay.
for
Absolutely.
the NHL. But we're going to go ahead and do the football thing. And since both of our teams are out and I'm the producer, yeah, bye.
Now we're doing basketball next. We're quickly doing basketball.
Basketball.
We're quickly doing basketball.
Lakers are still in. Woo!
All right.
The Lakers are going to be in for
let's do
quite some
basketball.
time, Dylan. The season's only 3 weeks long.
Wait, the season's only 3 weeks long?
No,
Three weeks
season's
in.
3 weeks in.
Oh.
So again, I apologize. I didn't really get much basketball news as to what's been going on. 3 games have been postponed due to health and safety protocols. Week 1, it was Houston and Oklahoma City. Week 2, it was Miami and Boston. Week 3, it's Boston and Chicago. It's just good old-fashioned the health and safety concerns of the players. There's also news that Atlanta, Cleveland, New Orleans, Orlando, and Utah are the first to start bringing in fans at very limited capacity on a game-by-game basis. The rest of the teams, they are still playing in empty arenas until each state gets their protocols and gets their numbers down. That's the way it is. But right now, the team that's looking to get the players in the fastest is Atlanta. They're looking at a target date of January 26th. Again, not much news because I just honestly haven't been getting on the news. So we'll go straight into the rankings for basketball, and then we'll get the rank, and then we'll start talking football, and then we'll get out of here. So the team at the bottom of the league, they are 2-8 with a average point tally of 108.8. That's the Detroit Pistons. And Dory is laughing because Aaron is not in the house right now. But he said last week that he's not following basketball anyway, so you can't really laugh at him.
Sure we can.
Because if he was here, he'd give me shit.
I doubt that. Team number 29, they are also 2-8. They have a higher point average, the Toronto Raptors. Team number 28, they are 3-8 as of yesterday's cutoff at 120.5. They are the Washington Wizards. Team number 27, they are 3-7. They need to start playing better. It's the Timberwolves.
Yes, they need to start playing better.
They need to start
God
playing.
damn it, Minnesota quit disappointing me.
Team number 26, they are 3-5. Remember, Houston is behind a couple games because of health and safety protocols. Team number 25, they are 4-7. The Chicago Bulls. Team 24 at 4 doubles. Team 24, the Grizzlies at 4-6. Team number 23, 4-5, New Orleans. Team 22 at 4-4, the Heat. Team 21 at 5-6 with an even 100-point average, Cleveland. Team number 20, also at 5-6 by 1/10 of a point, the New York Knicks. Team number 19 at 113.7, they're also 5-6, the Sacramento Kings, because the last time I said the Kings, I got in trouble.
Yep.
The last team to be 5-6 at 118.5, Brooklyn, number 18. Team number 17, they are 5-5. San Antonio. We're going through this fast, folks. I know you want to get to football. Team 16, 5-5 with 113.9. The Hawks. Also at 5-5, the Nuggets. At 5-4, the Oklahoma City Thunder. 5-4 is better than 5-5. Team number 13, the Dallas Mavericks. Team number 12, the Golden State Warriors. Team number 11, the Orlando Magic. Team number 10, the Charlotte Hornets. Team number 9, the Utah Jazz. Team number 8, the Indiana Pacers. Team number 7, the team, of course, that Charles Barkley says is going to win the West, and he's put up $100,000. the Portland Trail Blazers, but they're 6-4 right now. So right
Shout
now
out
that
to
bet
Anthony
ain't looking too
O'Brien in
good.
Portland.
Also, I've been watching some videos between if you're a TNT guy and you watch Inside the NBA. What's up with Shaq and Barkley? Have they been feuding at each other for 3 years, and I'm just now catching up with that?
Shaq and Sir Charles are always beefing. Yeah, they're just trying to make TV more entertaining to watch. And you got to remember, TNT's got the NBA and AEW. They ain't got shit else to do. So you know.
And of course, Charles had a go-to line saying that Kobe and Dwayne Wade carried Shaq up the court for the better part of years. And of course, Shaq comes back with, "I've got 3 MVPs and 3 championships. Where's your rings?"
Right, exactly.
Because Barkley doesn't have any rings.
No. No, he does not.
But I think at the end of the day they hug each other out. Team number 6 at 7-4, we have the Philadelphia 76ers. Team number 5, it's the team from Los Angeles, but it's not the Lakers, it's the Clippers. It's Christmas time. Team number 4, the Phoenix Suns. There's the Suns at 7-4. Team number 3, one of my teams that I'm following because of my boy Giannis, the Milwaukee Bucks. I actually, if I can get this, what I want to do is, he has a really cool shirt. It's called the Greek Freak. I would love to rock that shirt on an episode of Sports Bar. I like the guy. What can I say? He's my fellow countryman, and he's a pretty cool guy. Team number 2.
Ooh.
I can't say his last name. Right, but I'll just call him Giannis. Team number 2 is the Boston Celtics. Of course, they had a health issue. And team number 1 finishing the week at 8-3 on the top, as they should be. I expect nothing less from this team. Your world champion Los Angeles Lakers. Team number 1. Dylan, are you following basketball this season? No. No. Okay, at least he's honest about that. All right, friends.
All right. I'm pretty sure the boss is that want you to go get dinner, buddy. So go ahead and take care of that, okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's 7 o'clock. Thank you for all your.
What, Dylan?
I just want to say before I go, on Saturday, January 23rd, I don't know why I said 23, UFC 257, Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor.
Oh, come on. Do I have to report on a Conor McGregor match? Really?
No, you don't.
You
don't. It's okay.
He's.
I want to watch
My nephew has now triggered a rant on Conor McGregor. Thanks a lot, nephew. Conor McGregor.
Please don't.
You're lucky your father overrode me.
You're lucky you said it live. When do we get off air, kid?
No, don't hurt him.
Enjoy your dinner, kid.
All right.
A little bit.
Yeah, I get breakfast.
Good plug.
I want to say thank you to the fans, because you guys were really welcoming. So,
Of course. We always have the best fans here.
Wise comment.
All right, bud.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
Thank you, Dylan.
Bye.
Bye. All right, friends. We're talking about Wild Card Weekend. The 6 teams that are the teams that were not the Packers and the Chiefs, all matched up in 6 fierce battles, all for an attempt to get to win the Super Bowl. I just totally buzzed out on that one. Everything started with the Bills and the Colts, and the Bills end up winning 27-24 with fans in the stadium. Phillip Rivers went 27-46 for 309 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Josh Allen went 26 of 35 for 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The Bills won a playoff game. The last time they did that was 1995 with a quarterback named Jim Kelly. If you remember Jim Kelly from the Buffalo Bills. they've waited and waited and waited, and it finally happened. And of course, now the Bills, including the playoffs, are on a 7-game win streak. Normally, win streaks stop at the playoffs, and everything restarts in the playoffs. But sometimes the NFL, with their stats and their records and their streaks, they have to put in parentheses, including playoffs. And I got that matchup right, because at the end of this little report, I had bragging rights. Stay tuned for that. The Los Angeles Rams took on the Seattle Seahawks and beat them 30-20. Jared Goff was not the starter because of his thumb issue. He had thumb surgery earlier in the week. John Wolford stepped up, but sadly he got hit real hard. They had to take him out in an ambulance to the hospital with a neck injury. Jared Goff had to come in, thumb taped up. He ended up going 9 of 19 for 155 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Russell Wilson went 11 of 27 for 174 yards. The Rams win 30-20. This was the 3rd home playoff loss in team history. The 2nd time the Rams have beaten the Seahawks at home. I did not think that Jared Goff was going to play. He shocked everybody in that coming in. If they had a 3rd backup person, I had no idea who it was. Rams with the win, taking out the Seahawks. And the Rams' undefeated streak, when they lead at halftime, is still intact. I believe they're up to 37 games at this point. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers took out the Washington football team. Jeff wanted that done because of everything that happened in the NFC East. The Buccaneers win 31-20. Tom Brady went 22 of 40 for 381 yards, 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Taylor Heineke, I hope I say your name correctly, 26 of 44 for 306 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Alex Smith did not play. He was sidelined with a calf injury. If he would have played, the football team had a 5-1 record with him as starting quarterback, but apparently his calf just said, I don't want to play. Therefore, the Washington football team are out. Tom Brady is in. Yay on that, because you guys know how I feel about Tom Brady. Again, I don't hate him. I just wish he would just happy trails and all that good stuff, but it didn't happen. At the end of the first weekend, I went 3-0. I got all 3 games right, which was a little bit surprising. I did not think that was going to happen. I thought I was going to get them all wrong, but hey, I got them all right. We move on to Sunday's game. Baltimore Ravens took on the Tennessee Titans, and Baltimore wins 20-13. Lamar Jackson went 17 of 24 for 179 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Ryan Tannehill went 18 of 26 for 165 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The Ravens are 6-0 when it comes to wild card games. So, of course, apparently they were supposed to win that. And I believe I think this was also the game where the Ravens, after winning or after scoring a touchdown, I think there was some kind of story on dancing on the logos, which apparently is starting to become frowned upon. Mostly on, of course, we remember Juju Smith of the Steelers kind of would do that every week. I guess if you do it in the playoffs, it's a lot less, or it's a lot more hurtful, because when they did it, they got a penalty for taunting, which, I mean, if it was the regular season, would they have gotten penalized? I don't think so. Not really. But because it's the playoffs and things are more intense, I guess if you're dancing on your team's logo, you're going to get penalized for it. So the Ravens end up beating the Titans. The Bears, they lost 21-9 against New Orleans. Mitchell Trubisky went 19 of 29 for 199 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Drew Brees, 28 of 39, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The Saints have allowed the Bears 9 points, which is the fewest in a playoff game in franchise history. The last time the Bears defeated the Saints was all the way back in Week 15 in 2008. They have lost 7 straight times against the Saints. And also in broadcasting era, this game was broadcast not only on CBS, but on Nickelodeon as well. And apparently Nickelodeon wants to get a younger audience, because when you watch a standard football game, you know, the yellow line is the 10-yard line for the first down. Well, thanks to the people at Nickelodeon, they called it the 10 slime line. You had to cross the slime line to get a first down. And of course, whenever a team scored a touchdown, virtual slime cannons went into the end zone. So the Saints scored 3 touchdowns, I believe. The Bears did 1. And at the end of the game, head coach Sean Payton got a bucket of slime poured over him. And one of my yes,
I've been slimed.
You've been slimed?
When Nickelodeon still had a thing at Universal Studios all those years ago. It's not pretty. It gets up in your stuff. It's bad.
I am so jealous of you.
No, don't be. Dude.
Because
it was gross. No, don't be. It was terrible. It was
it's
terrible.
Like it's on my bucket list, man. Because I grew up on should I turn down the TV?
No.
No. Okay, good. So
not yet, anyway.
On I grew up on Nickelodeon. Of course, you can't do that on television with the green slime. Their green slime kind of had a consistency of green-colored oatmeal. You could see the chunks in it. You could see the lumps in it. Green slime now looks like paint.
Yeah, when I got it at Universal, it was a little bit thinner than paint, but it still got up all in my pores and my hair. It was like, put it this way.
Are we talking like almost like cheese but thinner? Is that what we're talking about? Is it gooey?
No.
No, it's watery, or is it like, or
it's kind of in between.
Like milk?
Put it this way, when you get to go outside and play again, go talk to your niece up in Victorville about the slime kit she got for whatever it was, Christmas or her birthday last year or whatever. That's the kind of slime I got dumped on top of me.
Because when I think of slime, I think of like, you know, it just. And it's all
okay. Yeah, remember
almost like
the 80s when they did. You can't do that on television. It was like you said, it was like oatmeal. It was really like almost chunky looking. It was freaking disgusting to watch, let alone have it on you. Like I said, when I went to Universal Studios, I went to when I went to Universal Studios. Like I said, it was not quite as thick as oatmeal by any means, but it wasn't quite as runny as like green food coloring water, or it was somewhere between that and paint, I guess.
I guess so.
Not quite as thick as what, not quite as thin as what the coach got done on Sunday night, but close enough.
All I know
and
is
by the
that
way, Mike D, for the record, Mike D, I agree wholeheartedly.
Yes.
If Dak didn't get hurt, the Cowboys would have won the East. No question about it.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. Well said, Mike D.
All right.
So
anyway, sorry about that.
The Saints beat the Bears, and that sets up the third matchup between Drew Brees and Tom Brady.
Yeah, baby.
And finally, the last game. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. What happened? Cleveland beat the Steelers 48-37. Baker Mayfield went 21 of 34, 263 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ben Roethlisberger broke the 500-yard plateau.
Woohoo! Go Browns!
4 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions as well.
Right.
Which is a first for any player.
Yeah.
The team that went 11-0, or in the regular season, they were on track. I want to quote the Joker from Dark Knight, but I don't want to get too vulgar. From the first play? High snap, jump on the grenade, Browns recover, touchdown. I was watching something on Netflix, which cheap plug. If you're watching on Netflix, watch the history of swear words. It's amazing and funny. You will laugh you actually get a history of every naughty word that you cannot say on television.
Yeah.
I flip over and I'm seeing 28-0. I'm like, what is happening?
I'm telling you right now, Greg said it best to me. I want to say exactly what he said, just so I can not misquote him, because he was on the money here. Let me just get it up real quick here.
Yeah, I want to know how mad he was.
All right, so I was trying to get him to send me a graphic, which I'll go ahead and throw that up there right now while I'm thinking about it. I was trying to get something like this. That I ended up doing this myself. This is going to be Friday at 3:00 our time, 6:00 is the first round match of the championship contender tournament for Greg's title on trivia, and it's going to be myself, Chris Katz, and David Diaz. So I was trying to get
good
that
luck
out
on
of him,
that. I wish you the best.
Weekend, and not, of course, I was trying to not bug him because I knew the game was on. So I said, it occurs to me I aired the trailer earlier and completely forgot to get back to you, but I imagine you're not in the mood to talk about it anyway. And here's the one F-bomb for the day, so sorry. He says, fuck the Ravens. Yes, I mean the Ravens, because they're playing Cleveland, so, it's the same, right? So he says, I know, we covered all year. He says, they had to effing delay that Thanksgiving game for 5 days, and that game we lost Bud Dupree. We haven't been the same since. The Ravens did this to the Steelers. So if the Ravens go all the way and win this thing, they better find a way to, kiss the NFL management's ass, because they screwed the Steelers with that delay. And yet poor Denver had to play with no freaking quarterback. That's such bullshit. So anyway.
So there it is. So the Steelers lost, and of course at the end of the game, NBC cut to a shot of Ben Roethlisberger sitting on the bench, and he cried. But apparently though the story is that he was talking with another player who claimed he was done. So that on social media it was saying that's why Roethlisberger was crying, not because he lost the game or anything like. I don't think. You can get upset when you lose a football game. I understand that. It can be disappointing, but to have the cameras, I guess, catch you crying, and you're this celebrity quarterback, or you're a high profile quarterback. It's okay to cry.
The thing is, he had a reason to cry. There was no reason they had to be in that position. They should have been sitting where Kansas City was sitting this weekend. I'm just saying.
Yep, indeed. So as far as wild card weekend,
the Chiefs. Let me say that now.
None.
Their shit. They got where they needed to be. But you know what? If that game with the Baltimore had been delayed, it would have been a whole different scenario last weekend. So
as far as the bracketing went, I went perfect. I went 6-0, which is something I've never done. I was starting to get scared around probably the fourth or fifth game. I'm like, there is no way I'm gonna go perfect. But as you can see, and I posted it on my personal page. Wow, I went 6-0. I'm like, where's my $1 million? Or where's the Fox Sports app? Or where's the Super 6? Because I got all 6 games right. So as you can see, there is the updated playoff games. Baltimore takes on Buffalo. Cleveland takes on Kansas City. Tampa Bay takes on New Orleans. And the Rams take on the Packers. And of course, my picks will not change. I am keeping my picks the same way. Usually, once in a while, I could make a change, but I don't want that to happen. I still want Buffalo to beat Baltimore. I still want Cleveland to pull the upset and continue their run. Of course, I don't want the Buccaneers to continue on because apparently this might be retirement for Drew Brees. And I think the Saints have beaten the Buccaneers twice this season. So this is the rematch, the third time. And of course, I'm picking the Rams because they are the home team over the Packers, and maybe slow down Aaron Rodgers. And of course, then we have the conference championships where I say that the Browns will beat the Bills and the Rams will beat the Saints. And because I'm going with my home team Rams, Yeah, Dory's saying the Saints. I see that Michael G in the chat room is saying the Packers. So there are my picks. We'll see where it goes. Again, don't forget, after the end of the games in the conference championship, the Buffalo-Cleveland game and the New Orleans Rams game, that's when the window opens for football squares. We are doing football squares. And spoiler alert here, Dory has already said yes, she's in. So she's probably going to get first pick on the squares. I think that would be the fair thing to do, kind of like an early buy-in, I guess, or whatever. But the majority of the squares will start maybe not totally immediately after the game, but pretty darn close. So stay tuned to the group page. And again, remember, message me, tweet me. You can even message and tweet Jeff, and he'll relay the messages to me. The money goes in the PayPal account. And then on Super Bowl Sunday on February 7th, wherever the scores land at the end of each quarter, the grid pops up. That square wins the majority of $125, with the adjoining squares winning a small piece depending on the percentages. I want to see a lot of people play that contest. So the rankings now for the teams, and we're only going to be focusing on the 14 teams that played this weekend. I did put the rankings in the proper order because last week's was a bit of a mix-up. So I went over everything and made sure everything was in the right place. So
I
team
double-checked
number
it before we started. So
okay, so not a problem there. And let me again say,
hold on. All right.
Let me bring up my rankings here. So the team that did the worst in the playoffs, they only scored 9 points. They lost 20. No, the Patriots didn't even make it this year. It's the Bears. They lost 21-9, so they get the lowest spot, and that's where they're going to stay.
That's right.
The next team, they lost 20-13. It's the Titans. Then the next team that did the best was the Seahawks. They scored 20 points in their loss against the Rams. Then the AFC champion or AFC East champions, they lost 31-23. Did I say AFC? I'm sorry. I got to fix that.
In a row, yes.
I get my conferences mixed up.
The
next team, I know. The next team after that are the Colts. And the team that did the best of all the losing teams, and that's as high as they're going to stay, the Steelers. They scored 37 points. They did the best. And now on to the winners. They are now team number 8, the Ravens. And, of course, they play the Bills. Team number 7, by 1 point, they did better than the Ravens. We have the Saints.
Hang on. Damn thing. There we go.
There we go. Team number 6, they scored 27 points in their game. It's Buffalo. Team number 5, they beat Seattle. The Rams. Team number 4, they beat Washington.
Yay.
Tampa Bay. And the team that did the best the entire weekend has now taken over the number 3 spot overall. And they'll go, like I said, I have them going to the Super Bowl, and if I get it wrong, I will be okay with that.
Hang on. God dang it.
What happened?
I don't have them up here either. There they are. God darn it. Sorry. We went over this, you and I. What the hell? How did we miss this?
I don't know. But team number, do we have it or no?
Oh, wait. I put it in the wrong spot. Hang on. Gosh dang it. We're live and we're having issues. Story of my life.
Murphy's Law. When you think things will go wrong, they probably do.
Pretty much. There they are.
There it is. Team number
Right.
3, the Browns. And of course, the top 2 teams stay in the top 2 because they haven't played yet. Top seed in the NFC, the Packers, and the Chiefs are the number 1 team. So we'll see what happens this weekend with divisional playoffs. All right, my friends. We are done so far with all the sports stuff. Let's get in our do we need to do our plugs again, even though you kind of did them at the beginning, or do you want to do them again?
I always enjoy doing the graphics because I enjoy making them. So I'll do it real quick here because I know you want to do your shout out, and your shout out's very important to both of us. So let me go ahead.
Yes, it is.
Run through it here. Alexandria the Red, our dear friend, our cosplayer, she did a kind of a tribute to the Batman 60s show. The quote on the post was, "It's been such a crazy year already. Let's take our mind off it." So it's literally called the Pow Zap photo shoot, and you can find it over at patreon.com/Alexandria the Red. And I'll leave it up to your imagination where the Pows and the Zaps end up in that photo shoot. Anyway. Our friend, the Senators fan over in Britain, Laura, she's at onlyfans.com/Laura Sens fan, as we said. Our Vegas Golden Knights fan, Miss Bailey, the Henderson Hottie over at Miss_Vixen420. Our friend, the Vancouver Canucks fan in Toronto, which is the weirdest thing ever, but I love her anyway. Lisa over at Angel Lisa Marie 2 on Twitter. Our resident Minnesota Wild fan, and I'm assuming going for the Rams, like you said, Dory. She's over at Dory Lou, DORI.
And don't forget, friends, Dory wants us all to send positive vibes her way. She's got an upcoming audition at Dollywood in Tennessee. So
yeah, baby.
Send a lot of Instagram love to Dory Lou, please. We love Dory. There you go.
So, and then tomorrow we will have a memorial to the Pittsburgh Steelers season, as well as wrestling talk, weird state laws, and Q&A on the Greg Cherry Show because, well, I need to be around Greg right now. He needs friends, damn it. All week long and all month long on the Constantine Studios channel, our good friend, our brother, the Renegade, he is showing Tom Hanks movie reviews all month, and that's this week. Monday was Splash. Today is The Money Pit. Tomorrow is Big. Thursday is The Burbs. Friday, both on his channel and the replay on here on the Jeff Beecham Network, will be Dragnet. Saturday and Sunday will be Turner and Hooch. And I can't read what the heck the name on the 7th movie is. So I'm sorry, JJ. I can't see it from here. My eyes are crap. So, but all month long is Tom Hanks. And of course, Thursday, I think we're going to go on before the No DQ review. But if not, we go with it, whatever. JJ and I will be going live with our 10th anniversary celebration of the Dad's Not Always on Wrestling. I can't still can't believe it's been 10 years since we started doing this crazy stuff with him. Also that day, I can't find the graphic anywhere because I keep losing it off my phone. I'm going to try to post the episode of Rewind where Greg Cherry and I watched the 2001 Rumble match. I'm going to try for that. We'll see how it goes. And then Friday, as I said, we're doing the replay of the Dragnet review from JJ on the Renegades Reviews and the first round match. Triple Threat Battle of Champions and the NoDQ.com Wrestling Trivia Challenge Championship Contender Tournament. Chris Cass versus David Diaz versus yours truly. That's on Friday over at the Greg Cherry brand on YouTube. And you can find our lovely and talented host, Statboy Mike Caldwell, on Twitter at LBStack1977. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Statboy shout out.
2 mini shout outs before we go to the major shout out. First off, we want to send our best wishes and get well quick, Drew McIntyre. Of course, on Monday, WWE broke the news that he did test positive for COVID-19, but with some good positivity, he should be able to get through that A-OK, as my camera decided to fall down. So let's hope that he gets back quick and all that good stuff.
He'll be
Drew,
fine,
like I said,
and I'll tell
he'll
you
be
why
fine.
there.
I think so too. I mean, I think he said he was asymptomatic, but he'll be back soon, and that's a good thing.
He's definitely symptomatic, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. And of course, I also want to say, do what Drew says and wear a mask. If Drew McIntyre, the WWE champion, says wear a mask, wear a mask. There you go. I want to give another mini shout out to Coach Belichick, who has been getting a lot of negative comments and things. But actually today, I saw on the news, and this could be spun in a positive way. Coach Belichick was offered the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and he declined it. So if that is a bit of positivity towards Coach Belichick, look at Jeff. He is shocked on this. And I was, if this is stemming from what happened last week at the Capitol, then if that's a reason that too, believe me, I did have a rant planned for that, but I kind of backed off because I really don't like going political. But maybe this is positive for Coach Belichick not accepting it. He claims that he and Trump are friends, but I guess because of what happened, he said no. You are in shock on that, aren't you?
Not even. Wow. Okay, just go ahead, please. Oh my God.
Wow, I put Jeff in shock.
There's so many things I want to say, but I'm trying to make money and not get my channel shut down.
Well, like I said, if you can spin it positively, by all means, do it.
I can't.
Even if he said no?
I can't say either one of them, so no, I can't.
Fair enough. All right, now the big shout out goes to, if you watched SmackDown last week, Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, the 5-time NWA champion. There he is with Renegade, and there he is with good old JM.
Put some stank on that, Mr. Caldwell. The 5-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. All right, go ahead. Continue.
Okay, so there he is there, and as you can, if you are watching WWE, he was put into the gauntlet match to determine who would be facing Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. And by some miracle, and of course the help of Jey Uso, he won the match. So now he has a title shot. No idea where this is going. Part of me in the back of my head would love to see Adam win. There's a picture of he and I. And this now triggers a story. If you can read the comments there, this was obviously a while back. I don't remember when, but we went to a taping of NWA Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and the belt there, of course, is the NWA title. So we caught Adam at the show, politely asked for pictures with the belt, which he agreed to, and of course, I would go into Facebook and I would caption and tag a lot of the wrestlers. So as I did that, I mistyped the tag, and I said NWA Hollywood Champion Adam Pearce, and I spelled his name Pierce. I spelled it wrong. He called me out.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he called me out big time. And also on the picture with the belt on my shoulder, he wanted to take a look at it. And I kind of did one of these where I was, like holding on to the belt. So Adam in heel mode, he's like, well, I'm not going to steal it. I'm not going to take it. I just want to look at it. So I gave him the belt and I shook his hand and I was polite and I said thank you to him. So there's the story behind that. Now, fast forward a few years. During my time on the indies, or however you want to call it, where I would volunteer my time, I was working security at an event called Wrestle Cares, and Adam was wrestling. And so one of my duties was I was the glorified ring jacket guy. And of course, Adam had one of the finest robes ever. This robe had I would compare this to a Ric Flair robe. So I'm like, oh my God, I have to take this robe back. And I am scared to death to even touch this thing. So he gets in the ring, he takes off his robe, he looks at me, he comes over and he goes, you guard this with your life and take it to the back or else. And I'm like, sir, yes, sir. And I put the robe over my arms and I never walked so carefully to the back.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I assume, Jeff, you have a story.
Oh, I have tons of stories, some of which I can never tell anybody, and that's okay. To go to the grave. Adam was the first NWA champion, world heavyweight champion that I saw defend the belt consistently. Like, the 10 pounds of gold would come through PWG when AJ had it, and things like that. But when I started going out to the Regent Showcase Theater, and then of course the Glendale Studios, and I eventually finally made it to Port Hueneme. I'm very happy I finally got to go out there and see a couple shows there. Adam was the guy, and it was at a time where the NWA was definitely in a state of chaos because there was no real proper management. I'll leave it at that so I don't get myself completely sued. But the people in between TNA's time with the NWA title and Billy Corgan's purchase of the brand, it was a train wreck. And people like Adam Pearce and Cole Cabana and Dave Marquez and Bob Trobich really kept the 10 pounds of gold and the brand name itself kind of from completely sinking into the depths of hell. Adam was a wonderful world champion, a great representation of the title, 5 times, as we said, over with the title. My favorite memory is, right here, the picture that I combined with JJ's picture. This is the picture with me is at our dear friend, our late friend John Ian's Mach 1 promotion out in Anaheim. Hop, skip, and jump from Disneyland, like I said the other day when I was talking about it. And I like I said, I'd held the belt before. I'd been there before. That belt, actually, because that's the same belt that went through TNA. So I got to hold that championship that day. And I will say this story, and I'm probably going to get yelled at for it later if I see the other people involved, but that's okay. I know he was joking now looking back, but we were comparing our belts, Adam and I, and he said, I know he said it as a joke because he wanted to see the other guy's eyes bug out of his head. He looks right at me and goes, "You want to take this one home?" And Marquez's eyes, he almost shit his pants, I think. God bless David Marquez. And Johnny, of course, always lovable. Just started chuckling that irrepressible laugh that John had. It was me and Adam and Dave and John, and I think TJ was still there because he challenged Adam that night for the championship.
I think so. Yeah.
It was just a cool little moment. It was like just us. It was just so funny. It was so cool. And we all know he's not going to win the Universal Championship. They're not going to pull.
You never know. Never.
I know we say never in wrestling, and that's fine, but they're not going to have him be the guy to knock Roman off the head of the table. It's not in the cards for the Scrap Daddy. I'd love it to be, but it's not. We're going to see some sort of thing where he's going to pull management rank and pull somebody else in there. But for like I said on Twitter, for us NWA marks, for us PWG marks, for a couple weeks here, we'll get to go, wait a minute. And, it'll be fun. It's going to be a fun couple weeks here, but I've said this and I mean it. Adam Pearce is the greatest NWA World Heavyweight Champion I saw defend the title live. And I will believe that until I get to start consistently going out to Port Hueneme and, maybe be proved wrong, maybe not. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Nick Aldis. He's not a fan of mine for some reason. He's got me blocked on social media, or on Twitter anyway. But I love Nick Aldis. I enjoyed Tim Storm as champion. I got to pose with Cody and Dylan with the 10 pounds of gold when Cody was champion. So I am such a fan of the NWA and the championship that I just am so grateful to, again, Adam Pearce, Cole Cabana, Dave Marquez, Bob Trobich, everybody at NWA Hollywood that's now TNT Wrestling Hollywood. Those guys kept the brand above water. When it was being dragged down by a lot of crap, like a lot of seaweed was grabbing on the legs of that brand. So, anybody out there that's an NWA fan that is glad that Billy Corgan was able to, buy it out of certain doom needs to, write a thank you card to Adam Pearce and people like that. That's all I'm going to say about that. And Mike D, it's probably going to be Owens and Nakamura based on what happened, it's happened the last few weeks. So it wouldn't surprise me, but if they do it, they do it, and it's going to be an awesome moment. Don't get me wrong. I will pop like I've never popped before, right? But, just it kind of is what it is.
It'll be the first big pop of 2021. Thank you all for everybody watching.
Well, I don't know, man. If you watch New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom was awesome. So.
Well, I don't get the Japan stuff, so we'll see what happens.
Right.
Thank you all for watching. Week two of 2021 is done. Next week, week 1 results of the NHL, week 4 results of the NBA, the divisional playoffs. Also, let me give a quick shout out to the Alabama Crimson Tide. They are the 2020 college champions. We have someone in our circle of friends who is a Crimson Tide girl. So I got to give a shout out to them too. Otherwise, old Alabama. I forgot to say that earlier.
My family's from Ohio. I'm not saying that.
Fair enough. Thank you all. See you all next week. Stay safe. I love you all. Take care of your tabs on the way out. And Stat Boy out.